Um, Good afternoon or morning, and I thought it might be interesting today to talk a little bit about what I call the gotcha vote. A gotcha vote is sometimes votes that are taken up in the assembly to put people on record one way or the other, but oftentimes these votes are misleading. And I think it's very interesting to see what happens on it. And I will give you a couple of examples on what I consider gotcha votes. Last year, we were doing a bill on what we could hang as appropriate documents in state buildings. For example, the Ten Commandments or things like that. And we spelled them out because a lot of people said your document may not be as important as my document or vice versa. So we wanted to spell them out in the bill so that we could list the documents could be placed. Now, I will tell you what was an interesting comment by a minister who also is a senator, and his comment is he believes in the Ten Commandments, but he doesn't see them hung up a lot in people's homes. But he was still not against the bill. But as the bill went forward, there was an opponent of the bill, and oftentimes opponents of bills will not kill the bill directly, but will try to kill the bill through an amendment. And sometimes these are gotcha amendments. And this one amendment that a very intelligent senator put up was that he wanted to include the Lord's Prayer. Yes, the Lord's Prayer is one of the significant documents, and he wanted a recorded vote. Well, what that means to us is that we have to either go on the line saying that we are for putting the Lord's Prayer as one of the documents or not. What we understand as people that one way or the other liked the bill or not was that the Lord's Prayer probably would make the whole bill unconstitutional. So if you were really in favor of the bill, you might want to vote no against the Lord's Prayer. At the same time, you did really want to be put on record of voting no against the Lord's Prayer. That went forward, the roll call vote was taken, and several months later during the election period, there was a big bumper sticker that this particular senator voted no against the Lord's Prayer. Now, he did it because he knew that it might make the whole bill unconstitutional, but that wasn't the 32nd spot. My first year up here was one that I got surprised with because I was actually on the subcommittee, and that was a bill that increased the taxes or the fines by the Clemson Agriculture Institute by 50 cents. It doubled it on inspecting fertilizer. What was interesting is the farmers wanted it, Clemson wanted it, because they knew it was important to make sure the quality was taken care of. And what was more interesting is they had been charging those fees for the last 2 years. They just wanted to make it into permanent law or regulation. So when it got it through the subcommittees and the full committee, because no one was against it, and we went to go onto the floor of the Senate, they asked for a recorded vote. Now, why would they do that? Well, everybody was for it, but they understood that on a recorded vote they could come back later and say, did you know that Senator Cleary wanted to double the fees that farmers were paying for their agricultural service? Yes, that's a gotcha vote. It's a vote that might make sense, but only makes sense in context, and when you take it out of context, they, quote, gotcha. So I thought it might be interesting as if you see a little bit of how we work together in the Senate and how sometimes what appears to be on the surface is one thing, quite honestly is something different. Again, thank you for visiting my website, and please call me and ask me if you have any questions or any concerns that you have on any of the issues. I'd be more than happy to address them. You all have a good day.